Let's move on to our fifth and final main topic today. Chris, what is our fifth and final main topic today?
Final topic is coming from Greg T. Hey, John, did you see the Deadline article about Regal and Cinemark making a deal to start playing commercials at a movie start time and then start playing all the trailers after those commercials? What the hell? A movie already starts almost 30 minutes after its advertised start time. How much longer will this push it? I feel like you are going to be very upset about
Prepare
this.
for the John Campea rant.
Get your popcorn, kids.
Okay, so what basically has happened here is there's this article that a bunch of people have shared. And it's basically an article that talks about how there's this company called, it's an advertising company called the National Cinemedia Group that they work to put on these pre-show ads and stuff like that and whatever. Now, the basic notion here is this. And I will encourage you guys to go and find this article on Deadline because it is quite informative. And actually, it'll temper this a little bit because here's the thing. Movie theaters, they need to have, they make advertising as part of their thing. And before the showtime starts, what a lot of theaters will do, now many different theaters will do it different ways. But what a lot of theaters will do is if the scheduled showtime is 7 o'clock, so 7 o'clock showtime, well, what they'll do is from like 6:45 till 7, they'll run, commercials and ads and things like that, like you've been watching Noovie or anything, those sorts of things. And which is fine because, hey, you said showtime is 7. It's not even 7 o'clock yet. You have the right to put up some advertisings on the screen. I really don't have any issue with that. That's fine. Now, we have talked a lot about how it has become untenable how many trailers they play in movie theaters now before the movie starts. It used to be like 3 trailers. Then it became 5. Then it became like 20 minutes. Then it became like 22 minutes. Then it became 25 minutes. And in some places now it goes 26, 27. Somebody wrote in onto the show the other day, say they time it every time they go to the local theater. In their theater now it's 28 minutes of trailers, which is unacceptable. And we've talked about that before, but that is what it is. So basically, what the story here is now is that this advertising company has just made a deal with Regal and Cinemark to have that early commercial package now stretch 5 minutes into the showtime. Basically, it's this. This is the way Deadline describes it. Previously, the pre-show complement of ads had ended before the stated showtime, at which point trailers would begin to play. National Cinemedia said the new agreement means its pre-feature program of ads will now play up to 5 minutes past the scheduled showtime. In other words, a showtime of 8 p.m. can now feature on-screen ads until 8:05. So what they're saying is they're going to have commercials continue to play after the start of showtime to 8:05 and then start the unreasonably long trailers. Now, I know that a bunch of people thought I was going to freak out about this, but when you stop for a second and think about it, you're fucking right, I'm pissed off about this. This is bullshit. This is absolute, utter bullshit. What the fuck is wrong with you guys? Seriously. Like it's almost like you're like, how can we drive more people away from our movie theaters? That's what the brain fucking trust of idiots at Regal are doing right now. They're sitting around their powwow circle and go, you know what? We've got too many people. Too many people come to our theaters right now. It's just so crowded. We got all these janitorial staffs. We got to make all this popcorn. How can we make people not want to come more? And here's the thing. The sheep among us, and that's what they count on us all being as sheep. The sheep among us are going, well, it's only 5 more minutes. That's what they said when they moved trailers from 10 minutes to 12. Well, it's only 2 more minutes. Bah. And then they said, oh, well, it's only 3 more minutes when they moved it from 12 to 15 because they knew we would sit there and go, bah, sure, no problem. Then when they moved it from 15 to 20, we all sat along like good, obedient little sheep, bah, and they moved it to 20. And just like a lobster in a boiling pot, we just sat there and thought, oh, this is a hot tub. This is cool. Nothing bad's going to come out of this. And then what they've done is they continuously pushed it further and further and further. And we've justified it to ourselves like the good little sheep we are by going, yeah, but at least it's trailers, and trailers is part of the movie-going experience, so I guess it's okay. Never mind the fact that they told you the movie was going to start at 7 o'clock, and now it's starting at 7:25? It's starting at 7:28, starting at 7:30? That's ridiculous. But now they have just pulled it out and slapped their cock on the side of your face by going, now you're going to sit through 5 more minutes of commercials before we even started. And here's where it's extra insulting to me. This is where it is extra insulting to me, okay? And we've talked about this before a little bit, but it bears repeating here. You know, when I pay for Netflix, I expect no commercials because I paid to watch it. But when I sit down and watch NFL on Sunday, and I slap on CBS to watch my Patriots roll over the next team in line, when I sit down and watch that, I understand there's going to be commercials because I don't pay for it. You know, I didn't pay to watch this game. I just slapped it on TV, commercials, no problem. Website like Deadline, I don't pay to go to their website, so they have some ads on. I understand that. But in a day and era when we're shelling out 10, 15, 25 bucks or paying for our monthly memberships to go to movie theaters, you got no fucking right to play goddamn commercials during my time. Because if you say a movie starts at 8 o'clock, that becomes my time. And I paid you for a fucking movie at 8 o'clock. And for you now to take out your dick, slap it on everybody's face, and say, no, now you're going to sit, not only are you sitting through almost a half hour of trailers, now you're going to sit through a little thing. And again, the sheep just go, bah, it's not that big of a deal. It's only 5 more minutes. They keep expecting you and counting on you to say that. And I don't get it. In an era we live in where fewer people are going to the movie theaters every year because of a diminished theater going experience, you would think that these fucking morons would go, oh, maybe we shouldn't piss off our attendees. Maybe we shouldn't drag this out even longer. Maybe we should make the movie theater going experience better. Instead, they go, yeah, let's add another 5 minutes, and let's add insult to injury. We'll just make it commercials for shit, even though they paid $15 to be sitting in that seat, not to have to be exposed to commercials. It's their time. When I pay you for that damn seat, that's my time. Anyway, one of the things I was very happy to see is that AMC Theaters, the number 1 theater chain in America, who is just as bad as everybody else when it comes to how long they play trailers for, by the way, I was at least happy to see them make a response to this. And they said this: in April this year, NCM, that's the advertising agency, brain thrusting this whole damn thing right up your ass. NCM proposed this concept to AMC of commencing a platinum advertising position during the end of the trailer play, which AMC flatly rejected at the time because of AMC's concerns that U.S. moviegoers would react quite negatively to the concept. AMC has no plan to introduce commercial advertising close to the start of a movie's commencement at its theaters in the United States. So I'm at least happy to see at least one of the big theater chains, AMC, is taking that stance. Aaron, you brought up earlier the folks at Alamo Drafthouse. Alamo Drafthouse would never go for something like this.
No.
Ever go for something like this. The thing that really gets me here is this. Not only on the one hand do you have the idea that they just keep ramming it to us and we just keep taking it. And then so they push it further and they push it further. And Game of Just the Tip becomes, 9 months later, you've got a little one. That's what they've done. And they just keep pushing it further and further and further. On top of all of that is this notion of, wait a minute. In an era when less people are going to theaters, you want to diminish the movie-going experience even more? Are you that stupid? Apparently they are. Now listen, I never do this, but I got on Twitter yesterday and I put a link to this story in Deadline. And I don't call for people to retweet stuff and to call out things, but I am asking everybody, take a minute, go grab that tweet that I did, and you let them know that this is absurd. And if you want to go ahead with this, we're going to start looking for other places to go see movies. Because again, you might say, don't be a sheep and just go, well, it's just another 5 minutes, after they already added on another 2, and then another 10, and then another 5, and then another 2. And they're going to play you commercials for a seat that you paid to be in. It's preposterous in an industry that is trying to find ways to get people to come back to the movie theater. And this is what you do? This is what you do? God damn, you're stupid. Anyway, that's my balanced, objective, even-handed thoughts about all this. Aaron, you see this. What are your thoughts about all this?
We fell out of our chairs.
Well, I think if there's one thing we've learned today, it's that you shouldn't take your dick out and slap John across the face with it, because he's not having any of that. No dick slapping in this house. And just so we're clear, there are certain times that an additional thrust is very warranted. Just saying. Just saying. But back. It's No Pants Thursdays!
That's gonna be the new the new trending hashtag. Additional thrust is sometimes warranted.
Hey,
Aaron
I'm
Cummings,
just
ladies and gentlemen.
John Campea, don't take your dick out and slap me across the face with it. Not having it. No dick slapping in this house.
No mushroom prints on this show.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Wait, what are we talking about? Yes. I completely agree with you. And as everyone knows, I will pee in my pants. I've peed in my pants in a movie theater before. That's why if you go on to the, what's our chat room thing that we call it?
Discord.
If we go on our Discord, my username is Aaron Has to Pee, because an hour into the movie, you can pretty much guarantee that Aaron has to pee. So if I'm starting my movie-going experience already half an hour into it, like the clock is ticking, and there's a very good chance that I'm either going to have to miss part of the movie or I'm going to pee in your theater. So if you have a theater that you don't want me to urinate in, I highly suggest you go to your friends at AMC or Alamo Drafthouse and pick up what they're putting down and not have this. I also think, here's the thing. It's not just because of my bladder and John's precious time. It's the fact that you have people who maybe have a sitter at home that they have a limited budget and they just want to go and see the movies. And as we've established many times on this show, it's really expensive to go to the movies these days. So that, coupled with paying the cost of a sitter, coupled with paying for popcorn and a drink and blah, 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 that becomes a $200 night for one couple to go to the movies. So if you're then adding on an additional half hour, the people don't necessarily know to budget into their time and budget into their sitter's time, then all of a sudden you've ruined their movie-going experience because you've got mom looking at the clock going, oh my God, the sitter is supposed to be leaving in half an hour and we're still here and there's still, you're not being respectful, as John established, to people's time and the fact that they're planning it that way. If you want to say, hey, we really want to make sure that you know about these products because they're really important products that you're just going to die if you don't have. And you got to see these trailers because you're never going to know about the movie if you don't watch these trailers right here in our movie theater. If you want to do that, that's fine. But give us a heads up and say, FYI, we're going to be playing a bunch of crap that you made. I personally want to go see trailers in theaters because they're usually extended. They're not the same trailers that you're going to see at home sometimes, although now we have the internet, so they're all over the place anyway. But I kind of like that lead-in. For me, it's... To a degree. When I see trailers before a movie, that's just the tip for me. I'm like, okay, I'm starting to feel it. We're getting excited here. And then the movie thrusts, and then I'm excited. So the movie so going to see a trailer before a movie is not that big of a deal, but I agree with you. The idea that it's only 5 minutes of commercials, it's only right now it's being just introduced. And what's to say that it's not going to be another 30 minutes of commercials plus 15 minutes of trailers, within a couple of months or years. So if you're going to tell me, listen, we're going to play 15 minutes of commercials and trailers, great. You do that. I will show up 15 minutes late. And I still might pee in your theater.
I've always said this too. If you want to start doing, I think there should be a law that says, hey, movie theaters, here's the thing. There's a new law for you guys. You guys can advertise the beginning of the presentation at 7 p.m., but you have to include in that the actual start time of the movie.
Yes.
So if you want to say presentation starts at 7, movie begins at 7:32. You want to do that? Knock yourself out. But they don't want to do that because they want to trick you into being there and doing all that. It makes me, and again, You're right, Aaron, if everybody just does what they expect us to do and what we have always done and just go, okay, and accept the 5 minutes, guess what? That 5 minutes is going to turn into 7. and that 7 is going to be turned into 9. And don't say, no, it won't, John, because I remember a day when we used to have like 7 minutes of trailers, and now we're sitting at 25, 26, 27, 28, and now commercials on top of it too, and it just pisses me off. Anyway, Chris, get your input on this. Like, you're looking at this, what do you feel?
I mean, this conversation took such a turn today. Golly Moses. I'm not for it. And I say this also as an actor who, like, my commercials have been before movies. Logan had a commercial run before Transformers. It was one of the greatest, most exciting things for him. But these commercials in movie theaters are usually non-union commercials. And these actors who are getting that screen time, well, it's really cool to see yourself on a big screen, aren't getting residuals, aren't getting paid for that stuff. Aaron and I are both SAG members, and like that hurts all of us from just a union perspective. So that's a really big bummer in itself. So it's not getting any of us actors who are doing commercials more work or more money. And it's taking away our time, like you guys have already pointed out. If a movie starts at 8, I really don't want to sit there till 8:45 till I finally see the movie. I mean, I don't have to worry about a sitter. I don't have to worry about that, but I want to go home and make sure my dogs haven't like pooped everywhere and eaten our webcam again. Oh my gosh, they ate all of our streaming equipment one time when we left them too long. It was horrible. It was so bad. But I don't see the point of doing all these advertisements in a theater. I understand the stuff before the trailers a little bit, like before when you're still cycling into the movie theater of like
if the showtime is 7 and it's not 7 o'clock yet.
Yeah, all that stuff I can deal with. I'm not thrilled with it. I don't care about like Maria Menounos' like trivia that she's giving all of us in the theater. Like, oh my gosh, what movie was Julie Andrews in?
What Friends Alarm star with Bruce Willis?
Yeah, like,
and the crowd screams Matthew Perry. Does everybody know what that's from? You know what? Actually, as you were talking, Chris, I'm wondering if this is all part of some nefarious plot for the snack bar. Because if you think about it, the longer that they keep you in the theater, the more you might go, I want some more popcorn. I want a refill of my soda. Well, you can refill that for free. I'm just wondering, I mean, do you think, John, you're a big concessions guy. Do you think that could be at play? Or are you the kind of person where once you finish your popcorn, you're not going back out for a pretzel and then a hot dog and then nachos and then Twizzlers?
I'm actually good with it, because I think what basically happens is you show up to the theater, and before you go into the theater, you get your snacks.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then once you're in the theater, you're in the theater.
Okay.
Now, I will admit, if it's a movie I've seen already, I will take another trip out to re-butter. Because, you get through the first top layer of popcorn, you got to get some more butter on there, because popcorn is nothing but a butter delivery device. But, and maybe refill a soap if it's a movie I've already seen. But generally speaking, I don't know if that'll be it, because, again, you're going to show up to the theater, you're going to get your concessions, and then you're going to go inside. I think they just need to address this. And look, I've gone on too long with this one, but listen, guys, what do you think about all this? Look, a lot of you may think very legitimately that maybe I'm overreacting to this, which has been known to happen from time to time. So maybe you feel that way. Maybe you agree with me. I don't know. Jump down to the comments section below and let me know what you guys think. All right.